Today in Latin grammar, we're going to talk about a subordinate use of the subjunctive, indirect questions. But before we talk about indirect questions, let's quickly look in English. What's the difference between a direct question and an indirect question? So a direct question has a question mark at the end and is searching for information from a person. So here we have, how are you doing? Where is your house? Whereas an indirect question has a question inside of a statement. There is no question mark, and it is not couched as a normal question. So, for example, my friend asked me how I was doing. I wanted to know where your house is. You notice that even though inside these sentences there is a question word and a question embedded, the whole sentence itself is not a question. And this is how it's going to work in Latin as well. So, an indirect question in Latin has a few parts that you should look for. Usually the verb, the main verb, the indicative verb, is a head verb. That means it's a verb of speaking, thinking, writing, anything that originates with the thoughts that come out of your brain. Hopefully you've heard of a head verb before. You will see that it contains a question word, but it is not a question. And down below here, there's a list of some Latin question words, but there are definitely more. And this question word signals your subordinate clause. So your subordinate clause will start with a question word and end with a subjunctive verb. And in these examples down here, you see puer patrem roguit quid hodie faceret. The boy asked his father what he was doing today. So quid to faceret there is your indirect question. And then the second one, which is a little trickier, nemo scebat num Caesar viveret, out mortuus esset. No one knew whether Caesar was dead or alive. So there, num starts your indirect question, and it ends at esset, the subjunctive verb. It is really a fairly simple use of the subjunctive. It is always a subordinate use of the subjunctive. And if you have any questions, feel free to write me or let me know.